Good day! Ngayon ay pag-aaralan natin ang slope of a line. The slope is often described as the ratio of rise over run. We can express this as a ratio of the change in y over the change in x. To illustrate the change, yung delta y and delta x, basically, ang sinasabi rito, nagbabago yung values nila. So, sabihin natin, last year, ang height mo ay 150 centimeters. So, ayan. Height mo ay 150. And this year, ngayong taon, ang naging height mo, sinukat mo ulit, ay 160 na. Ayan, 160 centimeters ka na. Gaano kataas yung itinangkad mo? Pag nasagot natin yun yung change in height mo. So, para ma-solve natin yun, we need to subtract 160 to 150. And 160 minus 150 is equal to 10. So, ang change ng height mo ay 10 centimeters. So, paano natin i-apply yung concept ng change dito sa Cartesian plane? So, let's have two different points. First point ay kukulayan ko ng pink and papangalanan ko siyang P1 or point 1. Then, yung pangalawang point ay kukulayan ko ng orange and papangalanan ko P2 or point 2. Ang coordinates ng P1 sa X ay dito. Yan. And papangalanan ko siyang X sub 1. Okay, so we have X sub 1 here. And yung Y coordinates ng point 1 ay nandito naman. And tatawagin ko yung Y sub 1. Next, we have point 2. Yung X coordinate ng point 2 ay tatawagin kong X sub 2. And yung Y coordinate ng point 2 ay tatawagin kong Y sub 2. Ayan. Notice na makakabuo tayo ng straight line sa pagitan ng P1 and P2 katulad nito. Wait lang, hindi straight. P1, then P2. And then, kaya nating i-extend yung line dito. And then, doon sa kabila. So, we have our line now. Using the definition of the slope, which is change in y over change in x, hahanapin natin yung slope ng line. Unahin natin yung change in y. We have y sub 1 and y sub 2. And we can use the analogy natin kanina ng height. So, nung nakaraan, ang height mo ay y sub 1. Then, tumangkad ka and umabot ka ng y sub 2. Ang change ng height mo ay yung pagitan ng y sub 1 and y sub 2. And this is delta y. Para mahanap natin yung delta y, we need to subtract y sub 2 sa y sub 1 para mahanap natin yung pagitan or yung length ng pagitan nila. Therefore, delta y is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1. We can do the same sa x-axis. We have x sub 2 here and x sub 1 here. Para mahanap natin yung pagitan nila, yung delta x, we need to subtract x sub 2 sa x sub 1. So, delta x is equal to x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Since meron na tayong value ng delta y at delta x, using the definition of the slope, we have delta y or change in y over delta x or change in x, and this is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And this is now your formula for the slope given na meron kang 2 points. Using the formula of the slope, which is m is the slope, and this is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, if we are going to substitute y sub 2 by y and x sub 2 by x only, we can actually derive the point slope form. And what is this point slope form? So, sabihin natin na palitan na natin yung y sub 2 tsaka x sub 2 ng y and x. So, we have the new formula, which is m is equal to y minus y sub 1 over x minus x sub 1. And to eliminate the denominator, i-multiply natin both sides by x minus x sub 1. Makakancel yung denominator natin, and we have m times x minus x sub 1 is equal to y minus y sub 1. If we are going to flip the left-hand side and the right-hand side, pagpapalitin natin, we have y minus y sub 1, and this is equal to m, which is the slope, multiplied by the quantity of x minus x sub 1. And this is the point slope form. Ginagamit ang point slope form kapag tayo ay naghahanap ng equation of a line using 2 points. Para sa ating unang example, find the slope of a line that passes through points 3, negative 4 and negative 2, 5. So, hahanapin natin yung slope. And bago natin hanapin yung slope, i-graph muna natin yung dalawang points. So, we have Cartesian plane here. Ito yung y-axis. And yung x-axis naman ay nandito. Ayan. First, mag-assign tayo ng point 1 tsaka point 2. Gawin natin point 1 yung 3, negative 4. And ang point 2 natin ay negative 2, 5. Next, mag-assign tayo ng values ng x sub 1, y sub 1, at x sub 2, y sub 2. So, since ito ang ating P1, ito ang ating x sub 1, and ang negative 4 ay ang ating y sub 1. Sa ating point 2, ang ating x sub 2 ay negative 2, at ang ating y sub 2 ay 5. Igagraph natin yung point 1. So, kung igagraph natin yan, we have 3, negative 4. So, una, we have 3. Since ito ay positive, so magbibilang tayo ng 3 steps pa kanan galing sa origin. So, galing tayo sa origin, which is here. Then, 1, 2, 3. Ayan. Then, next, we have sa ating y, we have negative 4. So, meron tayong 4 steps pababa. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, ayan. Then, magdodrawing tayo ng linya. And kung saan sila mag-i-intersect, naandoon yung coordinate. So, nandito ang point 1 natin. So, P1 is here. And ang coordinate ay 3, negative 4. Next, we have point 2, and point 2 is negative 2, 5. Ang x ay negative 2. So, 2 steps pakaliwa galing sa origin. So, ito ang ating origin. 1, 2. Ayan. Then, we have 5 sa y. So, since positive itong 5, ito ay 5 steps pataas. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, magdodrawing tayo ng linya. And kung saan sila mag-i-intersect, ay nandoon yung coordinate. So, this is P2. At ang coordinate niya ay negative 2, 5. Magdodrawing tayo ng linya, straight line, sa pagitan ng P1 tsaka P2. Hindi tumama. So, magdodrawing tayo ng linya. Ayan. Then, extend lang natin. And that is the line formed by these 2 points, 3, negative 4 and negative 2, 5. Ngayon, nahanapin natin yung slope of a line. So, para mahanap yon, we have m, the slope. is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Then, kung isa-substitute na natin yung values ng y sub 2, y sub 1 at x sub 2, tsaka x sub 1, ang ating y sub 2 ay 5. So, we have 5 minus ang ating value ng y sub 1, which is negative 4. So, we have 5 minus negative 4 over x sub 2. And ang ating x sub 2 ay negative 2. Then, minus x sub 1. At ang ating x sub 1 ay 3. Okay. Simplify natin. 5 minus minus 4. So, magiging positive kasi makakancel yung negative. So, 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. And negative 2 minus 3 sa denominator ay equal sa negative 5. So, ang ating slope is equal to negative 9 over 5. Ayan. Yan ang ating final answer. Para sa ating next example, find the equation of a line with a slope m is equal to 2 and passes through point 6, negative 3. Sa problem na ito, gagamitin natin ang point slope form, which is y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. The values of x sub 1 and y sub 1 is given dito sa ating point. So, dito, ito ang ating x sub 1 and ang ating y sub 1 ay negative 3. We have our slope and our slope is equal to 2. So, substitute natin yung values. Y minus y sub 1, which is negative 3. So, y minus minus 3 is equal to m, which is 2. So, we have 2 times x minus x sub 1, which is 6. Ayan. Sa ating left-hand side of the equation, y minus negative 3, makakancel yung negative. So, we have positive ngayon dyan. So, we have y plus 3. And this is equal to 2 times x minus 6. I-distribute natin yung 2 sa loob ng parenthesis. So, we have 2x minus, well, 2 times 6 is equal to 12. So, we have 12. Ayan. Para ma-isolate natin yung y sa left-hand side of the equation, kailangan natin ilipat yung positive 3 sa right-hand side. Since ang 3 ay positive sa left-hand side, pag nilipat natin siya ay magiging negative. So, we have y is equal to 2x minus 12 minus 3. Notice that we are combining negative 12 and 3. And negative 12 minus 3 is equal to negative 15. So, ang ating equation of a line is y is equal to 2x minus 15. And this is the final answer. Para sa ating huling example, let's find the equation of a line formed by 2 points, 8, negative 6, and negative 4, 2. I-graph natin yung points para makita natin yung line na mabubuo. So, we have here y-axis and then x-axis. Ayan. Dito yung origin. So, we have x and y-axis. Mag-assign na tayo ng P1, P2, X sub 1, Y sub 1, X sub 2, saka Y sub 2. Ang point 1 natin ay 8, negative 6. And ang point 2 natin ay negative 4, 2. Since ang point 1 natin ay 8, negative 6, ang X sub 1 natin ay 8 at ang Y sub 1 natin ay negative 6. Sa point 2 naman, ang ating x sub 2 ay negative 4 at ang y sub 2 natin ay 2. I-graph natin yung 8, negative 6. So, 8 is positive. So, 8 steps pa kanan from the origin. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, negative 6. So, 6 steps pababa. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kung saan sila mag-i-intersect, nandoon ang coordinate. Ayun dito. So ang ating point 1 ay nandito sa parting to. And this is 8, negative 6. Susunod, we have point 2, which is at negative 4. So 4 steps pa kaliwa from origin. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2. So 2 steps pataas. So we have 1, 2. Kung saan sila mag-i-intersect, nandun yung point. Ayun, nandito. And this has a coordinate of negative 4, 2. Kung maglalagay tayo ng linya sa pagitan ng dalawang points, dito siya. Ayan. And we are going to find the equation of a line formed by these 2 points. When we are asked to find the equation of a line, hanapin muna natin yung slope. So, ang slope ay equal sa y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And ang y sub 2 natin, nag-assign na tayo ng values. We have y sub 2 is equal to 2. So we have 2 minus, ang ating y sub 1 ay here, negative 6. So 2 minus negative 6 over x sub 2. At ang ating x sub 2 ay negative 4 minus the x sub 1, which is 8. So we have negative 4 minus 8. Simplify. We have 2 minus negative 6. So, magiging minus minus, makakancel ang minus, magiging plus. So, we have 2 plus 6. This is equal to 8. So, 8. And then, meron tayo sa denominator, negative 4 minus 8. So, negative 4 minus 8 is equal to negative 12. Ayan. So, we have 8 over negative 12. Kung isi-simplify natin into lowest term ang 8 over negative 12, we will get negative 2/3. So, our slope is 2/3. Pero hindi pa yan yung equation of a line. Hahanapin pa natin yung equation of a line formed by these 2 points. To find the equation of a line, we will use the point-slope form with our slope equals negative 2 over 3 and ang point 1 natin ay 8, negative 6. So, sulat natin. Slope is equal to negative 2/3 and ang ating point 1 ay 8, negative 6 kung di ako nagkakamali. Tama ba? Okay, 8, negative 6. So, sa ating point 1, we have x sub 1 here and y sub 1 dito. The point slope form is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Substituting the values, we have y minus y sub 1 is equal to negative 6. And this is equal to m, which is equal to negative 2/3 times x minus x sub 1, which is equal to 8. Ayan. Next, we are going to distribute negative 2/3 sa loob ng parenthesis and simplify the left-hand side of the equation. Y minus negative 6 is y plus 6. Kasi since negative, magiging positive sila. Then, i-distribute natin tong negative 2/3 sa loob. So, we have negative 2/3 x. And then, next is negative 2/3 times negative 8. Alam natin na negative times negative is positive. So, magiging plus na yan. And then, we are going to multiply 2/3 and 8. So, 2/3 times 8. And 8 can also be expressed as 8 over 1. So, 2 times 8 is 16. And 3 times 1 is 3. So, we have 16 over 3. Ayan. Next, let us move positive 6 from left-hand side to right-hand side. So, we have y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 16 over 3 Then, since positive yung 6 dito sa left hand side, pag nilipat natin sa right hand side, magiging minus 6. And 16 over 3 minus 6 is equal to 16 over 3 minus 18 over 3. And 16 minus 18 is equal to negative 2. Yan. And copy the denominator. So if we are going to solve this part of the equation, this will result to negative 2/3. Simplifying the equation, we have y is equal to negative 2/3 x minus 2/3. And this is the equation of a line formed by the 2 points.